had an opportunity to go down and meet with Cassandra at the Contact Center a few weeks ago, and we had a really, I thought, nice and pleasant conversation. Got to learn a little bit more about Cassandra. And then when I was flipping through some books of quotes, I came across this one that I just thought was so suited to some of the stories she was sharing about herself. This was a quote attributed to Katharine Hepburn, and she said, "As one goes through life, one learns that if you don't paddle your own canoe, you don't move." And I think as we learn more about Cassandra, you will see she has been paddling her own canoe, and she's been moving along very well. When I talked to Cassandra, she told me that she had lived in New York a good portion of her life and came to Cincinnati in 1973. She said the most important thing that she wanted me to share with all of you is the fact that she has 7 children. And so that was the most important thing, and so we're, as I said, so delighted they're here. She said the other thing that's important to her is that all of them have a minimum of a GED. All of them are employed. Their range of employment, from driving the metro buses and student bus, first student buses. We have an accountant, we have somebody who owns a janitorial firm. So they've all been very successful, and this is also a great pride to her. In talking with Cassandra, she did say that in order to care for her children and be there for them, that she was on welfare assistance for a number of years. But when her youngest went off to school, she decided that she would go ahead and pursue getting her GED. And that was her next big challenge, because in the process she learned that she was diagnosed with dyslexia, that she had a reading problem, and I think it made her have a better understanding of what some of the challenges had been for her. But with the help and the support of the YWCA, Cassandra was able to get her GED February 13th, 1997. And so she feels very successful in that, and very grateful to the Y. She said to me a pivotal experience for her had been a course that she had taken on jobs for non-traditional women. I think that's probably something I need to take, because in this job, or in this program, she learned a lot of skills related to home maintenance. She helped build a house, and she still finds these skills very useful today. The other thing that was important to her was the classmates that were in the program with her. She said it affirmed for her many of the challenges facing low-income families, particularly low-income women. The issues of childcare, transportation, housing. So with that in mind, in 1993, she began speaking out and advocating for these issues and concerns, particularly related to welfare reform and the issues that were going to come up in terms of the proposition of the time limits that were going to be imposed. Her questions and concerns, which I think many of us shared, were, could these folks earn a livable wage? Could they get a job that would afford them a livable wage? So this, she felt, was where she really began her advocacy. And in 1994, she became a volunteer at the Contact Center, and then in 1996 got a paid job. And from that point on, she has not needed assistance, and she has continued with her advocacy. She talked about the importance of inclusion right now down in the Over-the-Rhine area, being sure that the families who have lived there for so long, that their voices are heard. And she's been a part of the Vine Street business community, the Over-the-Rhine housing. She was involved with committees on the renovation of Washington Park, Rothenberg School, and she's also been working with senior citizens. In 1998, she met Sarah Gideons and Linda Fade, who encouraged her to join the Women's City Club. They all had a shared vision and concern about low-income women and the need for advocacy. Cassandra is now on the board of Women's City Club, and she will be leaving at the end of this year. I asked Cassandra what made her feel feisty, and she said it was helping to empower those that come through the Contact Center to become successful in and of themselves and be on their own. And that's what keeps her doing the work, and that's what keeps her feistiness in place. Anna Quinlan said, "All of us want to do well, But if we do not do good too, then doing well will never be enough. Not only has Cassandra done well, she's done lots of good for many people. So it gives me great pleasure to introduce you to Cassandra Barham.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, family, friends. I'm so grateful to be standing here today. And I'm so proud to see my children sitting out there. Wow, all of them didn't make it. I have 7 children, 5 girls, 2 boys. One lives in Atlanta, my feisty son that just drove me totally crazy in the things that he's done, but he turned around and made himself a wonderful gentleman. My son Trent that's sitting back there, he's a Metro bus driver, so be careful on the road out there, everybody. My daughter Zandra, I'm so proud of her. She is a wonderful woman. She is accounting. She went through a lot of struggles, you know, and I'm very proud of her. And I'm very proud of my children in the way that they were raised up not to be welfare queens. Being on welfare was demeaning. You know, just to survive on welfare was a struggle. I was a very, very shy person when I first got involved with these groups. I sat, I listened, I just, you know, just couldn't believe what people were saying about us. So one day I found my voice. I found my voice and I started talking and I kept saying, I'm one of those people. I'm one of those people, but I don't want to be here. I don't want to be on welfare. And so I struggled and got off, and I'm doing the best I can with the people that I work with and the community I'm trying to change. Over the Rhine, if you go down there now, you see how much it has changed. And I am really trying to make sure that Walthenburg will be one of the city's brightest elementary schools, because that is the last elementary school in over the Rhine. So I thank you all for, you know, listening to me, and thank you Women's City Club very much for everything you've done for me.